Hey everybody, it's Shadowstar and Crystal here for another review of The Flash. This time, we finally know who Savitar is.
Yep, we know who he is.
Oh boy, let the bucket of worms out the bag. We finally know who Savitar is, and it was Barry. I really want to know how many people could figure that one out. Last episode obviously gave quite a few clever hints because, I did like the subtleness of future Barry in the last episode saying you'll create time remnants. He'll kill all of them, mostly.
Yeah.
Emphasizing that he doesn't kill all of them.
Yeah.
That was one of the best hints, and for some reason, they cut the word mostly out of the bit when Barry's remembering all the little clues. But yes, he's the time remnant that we mentioned, and now he is Savitar.
Yeah.
So obviously he becomes Savitar, then he gets trapped in the future, and then he kills Iris. The question is, it takes till 2021 to get trapped in the future, so what was he doing for 4 years?
Who knows?
Oh well, whatever. But yeah, now we know. Let the really, really confusing mess begin. Because like we said, all this could be solved if Barry just had therapy for when Iris dies.
Well, similar to how I said that possible future won't happen because he won't make it happen, what if he just says, alright, I'm never making a time remnant?
Exactly! If he just never makes a time remnant.
It's like in the movie Meet the Robinsons when the kid, he just solves everything by saying to the hat, I'm never going to invent you.
Exactly. If he just never makes a time remnant, then this other Barry will never exist. But yes, this is how Savitar has been able to know everything. Doesn't explain how Prometheus knows everything, but but this Savitar can know everything and has a plan for everything because he was there. He can just come up with a plan to counteract it.
Yeah.
You might think it's weird how he remembers everything, but you got to remember, he's probably getting updated memories in real time. Just like Stein with Lily, his mind is changing. So it's not like he's somehow got an eidetic memory of 8 years ago. He's getting the memories fresh in his mind.
True.
That's probably why he's able to remember it, because he's remembered it so early and then just told Killer Frost exactly what to say.
Plus, it's such an important time in your life.
Exactly. So yeah, we got all that. We obviously meet Tracy, as we said at the end of last episode, and she and HR have a lot of stuff happening. She's going to help us stop Savitar, apparently.
Okay, but he's still a Barry. Why would he want to kill Iris?
Because if he doesn't, Barry will never create all these people and he won't exist.
So, I'd let my own existence disappear rather than kill the person I love.
Well, apparently, remember, Season 3 is when Barry stopped thinking of anything but himself. Remember, last season, he was happy to create a time duplicate to die, but this time, apparently that time duplicate figured fuck it. Apparently it'd be nice if, like, the Speed Force told us, imagine if the Speed Force said, creating time duplicates creates a risk of split personality disorder. That would solve everything. But no.
Yeah. I read this interesting fanfic where the time duplicate from the plan to stop Zoom didn't end up dying in the plan.
Yeah. But then, he's also the slightly ahead Barry, so, he would be doomed if you use the Futurama logic. But yeah,
yeah, that's Futurama.
Yeah, I know. It would be nice to know what happens to future time duplicates, but yeah. Shouldn't the Speed Force have an issue with that?
You'd think that, yeah.
Why isn't the Speed Force going after Savitar? It has an issue with time duplicates. You can't just make clones of yourself if you're a speedster. I mean, Zoom did, but then again, eventually a time race did get him.
Yeah. But his existence is sort of a nice, neat circle.
Yes, as we said, he creates himself by killing Iris, which ensures that Barry will go insane and create duplicates, which will create himself. So yes, his existence is a circle. But then, yeah, and then the other half of the episode is we've still got Killer Frost, as we said, Killer Frost is still at large. So, how does the news learn the name is Killer Frost? Nobody's ever heard the name Killer Frost other than Tracy, and I doubt Tracy would have told the news.
I don't know.
Exactly. So why would Killer Frost still be at large? It doesn't make sense. I mean, she is still at large. She fights Cisco.
Well, she knows the name Killer Frost, so when she's, I don't know, going around terrorizing people or whatever...
She says, look at me, I'm Killer Frost!
Something like that, yeah.
Doesn't make any sense. Maybe the news just coincidentally came up with the name Killer Frost. But then, if she's so public, like, okay, it's one thing for them to get rid of the university footage, but how do public should be able to ID her as Caitlin now?
Yeah, I guess so.
Whatever, but that was still fun because Killer Frost is amazing as always. There was a great fight scene between them and Flash and Cisco. Both the fight scene when they're after the coffee shop scene and then, of course, the fight scene at the end. There were a lot of good Killer Frost moments.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
The only other side plot we have to worry about is there's a small little plot with Cecile, but who cares about that?
Yeah. Cecile knows.
Yeah, Cecile knows. That's all you really need to care about, but whatever. Obviously, yeah, lots of great HR moments, lots of great Cisco and Killer Frost moments. The Savitar mystery is finally done. And, of course, we have to talk about the importance of apostrophes. That's the other code name of this season.
Because you mean commas?
No. Well, apostrophes and commas. Because obviously he says, I'm the future Flash, and that's an importance of a comma.
Yeah.
But does it in the few times when Savitar says, I'm God, you're God, you would think, oh, my God is in the God I serve. But if you change it to a your with an R-E,
yeah,
then it's you are God.
Yeah.
God, the grammar is the best spoiler. I really want to know how many people figured that one out. It's so in your face and yet nobody catches it. I love it. I love it. But yeah, the mystery is finally out of the bag in what took us
in that timeline we saw in that possible future. How did that future Barry never figure it out?
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out what changed.
I guess because he did not have the hint of himself saying you create time remnants. That was the last nail in the coffin of hints.
Maybe. That was one, that's probably the last nail. The only other thing I can think of is by giving them... They've already changed time because now they're looking for Tracy early, which probably ramped up Killer Frost's involvement. And Killer Frost probably started asking more questions. And you could also blame Killer Frost for playing it a little too sly by doing all those mimicry things.
Oh, yeah.
If her involvement wasn't so amped up because she was going after Tracy, then maybe they wouldn't have figured it out.
Yeah.
Yeah. But, so there you go. Either that, or for some reason Future Barry is a dick and never told us. But that doesn't make any sense. But it would explain why he why he doesn't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, this was actually quite a good episode because a lot of it focuses on Frost until the end, which is great. It's more of a killer... Up until the ending, it's actually more of a Killer Frost episode than a Savitar episode until the very end. Obviously, I have the slight nitpick of this episode does a stupid thing where it opens the episode with a scene from much, much later.
Yeah.
I always hate when they do that.
I'll just go 8.
I'll give it... Yeah, I'll just go 8.5. This timeline is obviously crazy, but it is starting to make more sense. But yeah, there is only 3 episodes left in the entire season.
Okay.
3 episodes left. I believe the next episode is called something about the past and something about some guy and cause and effect. The next episode called Cause and Effect, which makes sense because Savitar knows everything. Anyway.
There are so many better ways to beat Savitar than what they end up doing. Why don't you take away Barry's speed so then he can't make time remnants?
That's a smart idea. Then you just let Wally be the Flash from now on.
Yeah.
I mean, it would save Iris, but then you'd have no Flash forever.
Not forever. Make it temporary speed loss.
But no, because if it's temporary, then Savitar will just regain his speed, because eventually Barry regains his speed, so Savitar would regain his speed, because the future's already set. If it's temporary, the future knows that Barry will get his speed back, so Savitar never...
He'll get his speed back, but he won't make a time remnant.
But, it will just make things happen later. Then Savitar will just think, well, then I wait till he gets his speed back, then I do it.
Savitar won't exist.
Yes, he will, because it still will have happened. You need to do something permanently. Unless you can ensure that he can never make a time remnant.
Alright, take away his speed forever.
Because if you do it temporarily, then... Because the future already... Remember, Savitar's from the future. He will still exist as long as he can exist. And he can exist because Barry will get his speed back, so then he will still see Iris die and go nuts and create time remnants, so Savitar will still exist, probably just a few months later than normal, but he will still exist. You can delay Savitar, but unless you cut off Barry's speed permanently, or kill Barry, then, yeah, Savitar will still exist.
Well, that's what we gotta do, is get rid of his speed forever. Or...
we kill Barry.
Or we lower his speed. You probably gotta be really fast to make a time remnant. Just make him a very slow speedster so he can still stop easy crimes and stuff.
I guess. Maybe that works.
There you go. You can still be a hero, Barry. Stop petty crimes. Maybe have Wally help you out with meta stuff. That might require more speed, but you can still be a hero, help the cops, whatever. Just, you can't be fast enough to make a time remnant.
Well, but like we said in the last episode, it's not about Savitar, it's about Iris. Because as he says, he goes nuts and creates time remnants because he's angry about Iris. It's all about Iris, as we'll see.
Then lock Iris up so Savitar can't kill her.
Well, yes, as long as Barry doesn't know that that's happening.
Yes, have the other team members lock Iris somewhere and not tell Barry where.
But Barry will have to meet with Iris eventually. Otherwise, what? They're just going to split forever? I mean, it would save them, but then Barry would never see Iris again.
Oh yeah, like you said, we can only delay.
Yeah, unless you literally never have him see Iris again, and the team can never, ever, ever tell him where Iris is hiding.
Oh.
I mean, it works if you're willing to never see Iris again.
Maybe that's what it takes to keep her alive and happy, but maybe... Look, it's better than the stupid idea they eventually do.
Well, we'll get into that in a few episodes. We'll discuss that later. Anyway, enough about that. We'll see you next time for more Flash and other things as well. See you next time, guys.